Hello and welcome to Very Interesting. I'm your host, Barry Aycock. We're on location here at Lighthouse Church in Dexter, Missouri to learn about Smiles of Hope. To share with us about this important program, I have the pleasure of welcoming Kevin DeArman to Very Interesting. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you, Barry. Glad to be here.
Pleasure to have you today. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. This program's near and dear to my heart. But first, Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, where you're from.
Well, Barry, I grew up in Dexter. I'm a hometown guy. I graduated in 1978, joined the Marine Corps, and off to see the world I went. And I only did 4 years active duty in the service, 2 years inactive, and I stayed in Maryland, in the Maryland, D.C. area, where I was stationed at for about 20 years. And then came back to Missouri, started going to Lighthouse Church, and here we are.
The rest is history.
I guess it is.
Well, Kevin, tell us a little bit about the origins of Smiles of Hope and how it was founded.
Well, we actually started Smiles of Hope. It kind of emanated from Southeast Missouri State University's dental bus program. The university had a dental bus program, and that's who I was employed by when I came back to Missouri. And we would go around to different places and provide on-site dental care, usually for a day. So one day I asked Pastor, our senior pastor here, if we could get electricity provided so we could have a dental clinic here at the church. And he said, yes, what do we need? So that's kind of how we started here, bringing dental care to this local area. But Smiles of Hope really started when we invited Dr. Kane on the dental bus one day. We had the dental bus set up for a back-to-school fair, and Dr. Kane had agreed to come over and see some children to screen them for back to school. And he saw 175 children, and he had no idea that there was that huge of a need. He's been, he's Dexter's longest serving dentist, but he saw people that would never have the resources to go to his clinic. So there was a huge need, and the wheels started spinning at that point in time, and the three of us, Pastor, Dr. Kane, and I, said, what can we do to attack this problem? Lack of quality oral health care in the area. So that's kind of how we started.
I think, Kevin, you hit the nail on the head. There was a need, but this kind of grew organically. You've kind of answered the question already, but what really inspired Smiles of Hope? What inspired the creation of Smiles of Hope, besides it just evolving and creating out of need?
Well, I think all three individuals, Pastor, Dr. Kane, and I, had it in our heart just to help people. We knew that we had the bus that we could do a little bit of work on in a very limited scope, but it really started when we asked Dr. Kane to come over one evening to see where we could put a dental clinic, the physical Smiles of Hope program inside our church and start seeing patients. So our church is big, but we just don't have a whole lot of extra space. We had one room upstairs that was kind of our catch-all room. I'm sure every church probably has a catch-all room, where you've got your Christmas trees and all kinds of decorations, and that's what it was upstairs, just a big wide open room that we use for everything. Dr. Kane, Pastor, and I went up there, and Pastor being in the construction, I said, Pastor, what's it going to take to kind of turn this room into a dental clinic? And he said, probably about $5,000. And we're not a huge church. We've got a wonderful congregation that always supports our mission. But It really started. Do you mind me sharing some information about you and your wife?
This is your interview, share whatever
Okay.
you want to.
Really, it started when, I got a phone call that after that meeting was over, we were coming back down the steps and the phone rang in my office. And this is very emotional to me because it just shows how God works in advance of everything that we're doing. My phone was ringing, and I answered my phone while Dr. Kane and Pastor were saying their goodbyes. And it was your wife, Michelle. She said, could you come down to our office in Parma next week sometime? And I said, yeah, I can probably come down Monday. So, as you know, I came down, and you guys wrote us a check that was more than enough to pay for what was done here at our church. And thank you for that, Barry, because really that was the start of Smiles of Hope. You were the very first donation, monetary donation that we had, and had we not had that, who knows where we would be today.
We're proud to help. Michelle told me to send her kindest regards today. She wanted to be here, but she had some other commitments, so
Oh, I understand.
she wanted to be here today. But you just brought up a great point about Smiles of Hope. With its inception, Tim Russell, he's got an uncanny knack of knowing the needs of the community in the region.
Absolutely.
Dr. Kane brought the skills to get this job rolling.
Yes.
He brought the skill set, and your skill set was, kind of coordinating. You're already kind of involved in the medical field.
Sure.
Tell us about the background of the mobile unit and how that all brought this team together.
Well, the dental bus that the university had, it was funded originally by HRSA, a grant that the university had gotten from HRSA, and bought the bus. And then the onus was kind of on the crew. There was Dr. Loretta Prater. She was the dean of the College of Nursing there at SEMO. Sandy Ortiz, she was my direct boss. She was the program manager for, I almost called it Smiles of Hope, but for the dental bus, it was called the Showmobile. Southeast Health on Wheels Mobile was what it was.
I used to see you all over the place and never
Oh yeah,
connected around.
well, and even Parma. We went to is Parma your hometown?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we went to Parma to the city hall down there and provided on-site dental care, several times down there. But once that started, we were operating in Parma. We operated in Crothersville. Of course, we did it here at the church. After, we got into it a little bit, and we had a temporary dentist that we got through a locum tenens service, kind of like manpower, for professionals. But the dentist would come in, work for the day, and then we may see him for another day, or we may get another dentist from another whole area. But we operated that way until the grant money ended, and then the program kind of disbanded, and that was kind of like the impetus that we needed to carry on with something similar in scope. And it has, you had mentioned, started organically, and then it's grown to what it is today. It's utterly amazing.
I can't think of any more like community service, public service type programs that have been this successful. It's an outpouring of support. I asked you before we went on the air, do you ever have a Saturday that's not very many people show up? And your answer was no.
No, Barry, we have, we've never advertised. Actually, this is going to be our first true advertisement for Smiles of Hope, and when people see us, they're going to be calling me like crazy next week, I'm sure, or after this airs. But we have people just by word of mouth. We've had people drive, a husband and wife drove from around Phoenix. I can't remember the name of the city, but it was in Arizona. They brought their camper. They stayed on our parking lot a Friday night to get teeth pulled for both the husband and the wife, and then they went on their merry way.
I run into people all the time. We had a lady on that done your murals. I don't want to mention her name. She might not want her medical history taught,
absolutely.
but I think you extracted 4 wisdom teeth for her, and she's the happiest customer that you've ever seen. But I run into people all the time that have access to the program and have utilized it, and it's a great program. But how did the partnership with A.T. Still University St. Louis Dental School develop?
Well, we wanted to expand our program to help veterans a little more. We actually saw a veteran in our clinic early in 2012 maybe. Our partnership with ATSU started in 2016, but around 2012 we were charging everybody, you know, what our fees are. It's $20 to register for our clinic, and then it's $10 for every tooth extracted. But this veteran came in, Vietnam vet, still had shrapnel in his body. He couldn't get the VA to pull a tooth for him because he wasn't disabled to the level that the VA requires. So we said, we're not charging for veterans anymore. You know, those guys that have signed on a piece of paper up to including their life that they would give for their country, it's the least we can do. You know, and Dr. Silva, he's a Marine Corps vet. When I started looking around, I found out about his program up in St. Louis, that he was helping veterans with dentures. And we had 2 veterans initially that we were looking to help with dentures. They ultimately ended up getting dentures, but that was kind of the connection for ATSU and Smiles of Hope. When he found out who I was with Smiles of Hope, not that I'm anybody, but you know, God made the connection. You know, God had it all worked out, and it's just flourished from there.
And that was kind of the birth of the Veterans Dental Program, right?
It was.
That it was in 2016.
Yeah, they've been here. Next year will be 10 years. And when they come, this weekend we're having a huge clinic. We've put about 50 of their student doctors and graduated dentists that'll be coming for kind of like a family reunion. They'll be staying in Sikeston at one of the hotels, and it's always a great day. You know, when they come in, we have just a large clinic, and we're able to reduce our backlog, sometimes even completely eliminate our backlog, because you can imagine at $10 a tooth how busy we are. You know, people call me daily from all over this country looking for help. You know, they're not just from around here. Granted, we've helped a lot of people here. We've seen about 11,000 patients and extracted about 27,000 teeth since 2010. And the majority of them have been from, you know, the Boot Hill area.
But Kevin, that's a good point. Not only do the region and the clients that you serve get benefit from this service, but a practicing dentist, someone who's wanting to be a dentist in the future, this is great hands-on experience for them.
It is, absolutely. One of Dr. Kane's proudest things that he likes to often say is that there have been 29, I think the number's up to 29 volunteers that we've had here that are now dentists through various dental schools. And you know, that's quite the accomplishment.
That is quite an accomplishment, yes. Well, Kevin, tell us about the military readiness program. How does it operate? You probably covered that some, but let's go into detail about that.
Barry, and I just got an email yesterday from a sergeant first class that's looking to have some of his military guys come over here and get taken care of, perhaps before they go on a deployment. I don't know the finite details of it. I'm sure that they wouldn't even tell me, but we're going to get those guys in and get them helped out. But the military, it's called Military IRT, Individual Readiness Training. We've had 2 of those clinics here where they come in force, and it's usually for that 2-week period in the summer when the National Guard is on active duty. They come and help the community out. They've done some of them over in Sykeston and in various other areas. But that military readiness program is great for their doctors, you know, who are out in private practice that are in the military with the reserves. They get full-blown care, you know, to see patients and everything here that they may normally not see when they're at their military base. The one thing that they do like, you know, for us is coming into a rural environment, and everybody is so appreciative of them being here, and I think that might be a little different than they're accustomed to. You know, generally in this part of the country, people are just kind people and very appreciative of any resources that we can get, and it has worked well in coordination with us.
Well, Kevin, besides the military program, which has turned out to be a big deal, that's a great service for our military personnel, but are there any other services that have evolved from day one until now that Smiles of Hope now offers that they didn't offer back when they originally started?
Well, we do now have captured so many dentists. You know, we have dentists that come from far away.
This is a dental school now, right?
It essentially is a dental school now, especially when the dental school's here. And, you know, we can talk more about our future plans, but we initially started with just flat extractions only. We do have some dentists that are interested in pursuing restorative care. We have some hygienists that are interested in doing, you know, some maintenance type of care, and we ultimately want to be Smiles of Hope and restore people's smiles, whether that's partials, dentures, whatever the case may be.
Well, you even told me wisdom teeth. You know,
Absolutely.
Wisdom teeth, I think, is $1,200 a wisdom tooth. And I know a lady who had 4 taken out here. I think she came on the day, accidentally there was an oral surgeon.
Yes.
But I think it cost her $40.
Yeah. Yeah, we, our tooth extractions are $10 a tooth, and it doesn't matter if it's a complex procedure or just a simple extraction. If we have the oral surgeon on site that's here that we can help somebody, we're going to help somebody. We're obviously not into it for the money. You know, $10 a tooth kind of pays for our anesthesia and things that we need supply-wise. The church donates the electricity and, you know, the food that we feed our patients breakfast. We kind of live and die on donations because we don't make any money, you know, from the $10 a tooth.
Right. So you still serve breakfast?
We still serve breakfast, yeah. We have a crew that comes in and serves a breakfast buffet and gets the patients fed.
I think some people just have dental work done just to come and eat breakfast sometimes now, don't you? I always hear about the breakfast is so good.
Well, I think that really comes into play for the inmates. You know, we started originally seeing Stoddard County inmates, and it's expanded. I think Dan Seeger, the jail administrator that I deal with at Stoddard County, has spread that out among the people that he deals with, and we're seeing inmates from Cape County, Mississippi County, Scott County, Dunklin County, Butler County. So we have a large population of inmates that people normally wouldn't even think that they would be deserving of care, but you know, Jesus treats everybody the same, and that's kind of how we're going to do it as well.
Well, that brings me to one of my last questions, Kevin. What impact do you think that this program's had on the lives of the people that it's touched?
Oh, wow, Barry. If you went to the Dexter Hospital, probably if you went to any hospital and just asked for their patient logs from the last 24 hours, there would be a large volume of those people that are there for tooth-related emergencies. You know, when Dexter first started, we had 8 dentists in Dexter. I'm 65. I remember, you know, we had Dr. Boone, Dr. Isbell, all those older guys that are no longer around, and I think we're down to 3 now. And Dr. Kane is, forgive me, Dr. Kane, he's not a spring chicken, you know, he's close to my age. But, you know, at some point in time, he's going to retire, and then Dexter's going to be down even lower if we don't replenish that. But we've helped a lot of people, and without us, I think people would really not have anywhere to go but the hospital. And the hospital's just going to put a Band-Aid on it. They can't extract the tooth, so.
And it relieves some of the pressure of these rural hospitals.
Oh my.
That are already overwhelmed and understaffed and lack funding. So, yeah, you're taking a lot of pressure off of that too. There's so many indirect benefits from Smiles of Hope that we could talk about it all day and keep coming up with different things that helps. But I would like to hear about this new expansion we got going on. What does the future hold for Smiles of Hope?
Well, we've been blessed to be able to do an expansion, and we're going to add a new building behind us that's going to be as large as this building. It's going to be further to the east of us here, but it will kind of duplicate this building that we have in the front, and it will house some classrooms, a gymnasium, 1,000-seat foyer for special events that the church may have, and then we'll have a 33-chair dental clinic in there, which will be amazing. We've had some talks with ATSU, you know, collaboration with them has been so well, and you know, perhaps we may have a dental crew here 5 days a week. That's kind of our goal. We want to help the people in the community and just move it forward beyond just being an extraction-only clinic. If we can get to the point of restorative and then do some preventative, you know, through hygiene and total restoration through partials and dentures, I think we will have truly become what our name is, Smiles of Hope.
Well, Kevin, you are doing great work here. I really admire everything that you've done, everything Pastor Russell's done. Dr. Kane, y'all have been true leaders in this whole fight against poverty and healthcare here in southeast Missouri. And like you said, it's expanded out into other states and other regions of the country. People come from all over to get help here. And I want to personally thank you for doing that. You spent a lot of your own time, blood, sweat, and tears building this. And it sounds like to me the best is yet to come.
It is. We have great plans. And God has great plans through our hands. That's not our plans, it's His plans.
So Kevin, you don't advertise, but if people want to get involved, I'm sure you've got clients, customers who they've appreciated the help over the years. You kind of helped them get up off their feet.
Sure.
I'm sure some of those people have come back to help on Saturdays.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you want to get involved, how can you get involved?
Barry, our primary phone number is 573-621-2793. They can call that number. It'll always go to a voicemail, but leave a message. I have returned every call that's ever been on that phone. You can go to our website, smilesofhopedental.com, and take a look at that. And there's a place that you can both register as a patient and a place that you can sign up as a volunteer.
What would a volunteer do here? I mean, you've got 100 jobs here for somebody to do. What they might be cooking scrambled eggs or or might be holding some teeth. What's a volunteer do? What's a job look like here?
Barry, we have a lady. First name is Dosha. She comes from Dyersburg, Tennessee, drives up to every clinic that we have, and the only reason she drives up is because she wants to wash dishes for us. So taking trash out, washing dishes, cleanup, breakdown. If you're in the dental industry, in the dental field, if you're in the medical field, we have a staff that triages all the patients to make sure that all their vitals are proper before we do an extraction on them. And then dental assistants, hygienist, and dentist. Wow, come see us.
And Kevin, just to be clear, if you want to come here and enjoy the services, it happens once a month on Saturday. Am I right about that?
It generally happens on the third Saturday monthly, and you must have an appointment to come to our clinic.
So you don't want a big line of people just showing up.
Yeah, don't want them just to show up. I will expand a little bit on that licensed people, like the hygienist and the assistants and the dentist. Even if you're from out of state, we have a form that the Missouri Dental Association has blessed us with that allows you to practice with an out-of-state license at our clinic for up to 14 times a year. We try to have one every month, and that's only 12 times a year. So if you wanted to do that with an out-of-state license, you're good here.
You're not going to turn any free labor down, right?
No, sir.
And you never have enough, probably, right?
God always provides just enough. He really does.
So Kevin, I'm going to give you the last word. We're going to wrap this up, but just the impact. I mean, you've kind of had on-the-job training here for the last 10 years or so.
15.
You've kind of learned on the go here. So what's changed for you personally from day one until today? How's it evolved, Smiles of Hope?
When we first started, just a very small clinic and just a low number of patients that we could really help. And we have gotten to the point to where I feel like we're really blessing people with superior oral health care. People can call us and get recommendations on some resources that we may have that we've partnered with or collaborated with down through the years. And as more people learn about us, and I do have one more thing I want to add. Dr. Kane, he is the American Dental Association Humanitarian of the Year. He gets that award in Washington, D.C. in October of this year. That's a huge deal. That's like the pinnacle of dentistry, but
well deserved.
Well deserved. Dr. Kane, he's been in practice in Dexter for close to 50 years. He's been on the Missouri Dental Board. He's been president of the Missouri Dental Board. And now this year, he was honored with the American Dental Association Humanitarian Award. That is a very small group of people that ever get that award. And he's right here from Dexter.
I couldn't think of a better guy to get it.
Couldn't.
He really, really dedicates a lot of time, and he does it with a smile on his face.
Yes, he does. He has blessed so many people.
So Kevin, if somebody wanted to donate not just their time, but money, capital to this, your new improvements, your new building, how can they do that?
Well, you could...
First off, how much is this going to cost for this new expansion?
Well, it's a $7 million expansion is what it is. And if they wanted to participate in the blessing of this for not just us, but the community, they could call that number 573-621-2793. We are a 501c3, so you would, have a tax abatement letter that would go along with your donation. But we kind of live and die on donations. So for those that have the means to do it, Barry, we see people that literally don't have two nickels to rub together. I've had people try to pay me with nickels, dimes, and quarters, and I refused to take the money because you could tell it was perhaps all that they had. And we try to collect the money from the people that have the resources to pay, and those that can't pay, we're going to bless them.
And you've never turned anybody away.
There has not been one person turned away.
That's the reason this is so important to this area and this community and this region to keep this going bigger and better in the future.
Amen.
Kevin, thank you for your time today. Thank you for all your hard work you've poured into this. Like I said, it's been kind of your life's mission to help the people of Southeast Missouri, and I appreciate it. The community appreciates it. The region appreciates what you've done here. Pastor Russell, Dr. Kane, you are true patriots of the area, and thank you from the bottom of everybody's heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you for tuning in to Barry Interesting. Stay tuned for our next episode.